Greetings and welcome back. This is Tariq Scott, Human Development Mentor, Independent Researcher, and Brands Manager for this free video series, Romance and Finance. And now this is video number 2 called Woman Model 101. Now we've gotten some great feedback from Man Model 101, and I'd like to thank you for watching, commenting, and participating. In the previous video, Man Model 101, we covered the psychology of a man in 3 sections. 1, Man DNA, which dealt with what motivates him to want to be in a relationship. Number 2, Man Construction, how to bond with a man emotionally by showing him your unique qualities. And number 3, Man Vision, aligning your life's purpose with his life purpose to create an everlasting bond. We shared these parts of Man Model 101 so that you could become a powerful presence that stands out amongst women, attract the quality of man that you want, and last but not least, have him loyal to you. So if you missed the first video, Man Model 101, go back to romanceandfinance.com and sign up so that you can get all of the videos in this free series. So again, in this video, we'll be covering Woman Model 101. This video is going to be very interactive, so I encourage you to have a pen. We have some worksheets on this page for you to download so that you can follow along. Now, the first thing we're going to cover is creating the man statement. And we'll go through an exercise that will help you discover what your ideal partner looks like from the inside out. Number 2, we'll be finding your UFQ, and that's your unique female qualities and how they connect emotionally to your mate, which is the secret to bonding your man to you. So we introduced that in the first video. Now we're going to show you how to find these unique qualities and how to connect them to your man's emotional needs. Number 3, we're going to go over relationship touch points, the 5 most powerful physical activities that you can do to bond you with your mate. These 5 things, if done at a high level, I guarantee you will have a man to never leave you. Now again, let me remind you, this series is for women who want to be in a power couple. And we define power couple as 2 people who have high power careers and or are politically and socially influential. So how did we get here to romance and finance? Maybe you were like me and got to a point where enough was enough and you were ready for a change. With me, it took having to go through the pain of a divorce to finally listen to what Hotep had been saying all this time in romance and finance, and that's to apply successful business strategies to your own personal relationship. Now, I wish that my ex-wife and myself would have listened to Romance and Finance several years ago when Hotep first created it, and I believe it could have changed the outcome of my marriage. Or maybe you fall into another category of that person who's still looking for that right man. Now, I remember when Hotep and I were both single and when he first met his wife. The strategies that he shares in this Romance and Finance program are actually strategies that he used when he first met her, which led to them getting married. In a time where the new statistics say 44% of black women have never been married, and the idea of successful black women remaining unmarried can be depressing, this does not have to be the case. It is possible to have successful black relationships today. I'm even happy to say that my ex-wife is my best friend now, and a lot of this has to do with both of us understanding these principles. At Romance and Finance, we want to share with you a business approach to relationships that will lead to the creation of a power couple. Because again, as you will hear me say, love is unconditional, but relationships aren't. So let's begin to get our relationships right. So let us begin. And once again, we have the worksheets for you to download on this page so that you can follow along. And if not, you can get a pencil, pen, and paper and write this down, because this is going to be very interactive. And we're going to start off with creating the man statement, which at the end of this exercise, you're going to have 1 sentence that's going to describe your ideal mate from the inside out. And the first thing we want to do is figure out what are the attributes that describe your ideal man. And we're talking about the internal attributes. So we're looking for some adjectives here, such as confidence, sense of humor, loyalty, honor, spirituality. Maybe you want him to be health conscious. So qualities that he would possess from the inside that you feel are essential for your ideal mate. And I want you to narrow it down to 5. Write them down. The 5 best internal attributes and characteristics that would describe your ideal man. Okay, so now that we have the characteristics, we want to match up what you believe this man should be doing based off of those characteristics. So, for instance, if you had as one of your characteristics health consciousness, then the action that he should be taking would be working out. Or if he had a sense of humor as one of your characteristics, then the action that you may want him to have is to make you laugh. Or say you wanted your man to be spiritual, then perhaps you'd like him to be active in some sort of organized spiritual group or religious organization. So now on your worksheet, in the column right next to your characteristics, you'll want to write down the action that should result from each one of these characteristics. So you have your 5 characteristics that you feel are important for your man to have, your ideal mate, and now you want to write down the 5 actions that should take place. Next is what benefit should you get from the characteristics and the action. So for instance, you want your man to be financially stable and he's an actual entrepreneur and a go-getter, then the benefit is a comfortable lifestyle. If the characteristic that you find ideal in a man is health consciousness and the action would be working out, then the benefit for you would be that both of you are fit and have a healthy lifestyle. So again, go through all 5 of your criteria, your top 5 criteria, and then you want to write down in the benefit column what is the benefit of the criteria and the action. So now we're going to actually form our man statement. So I'm going to go over the sentence. You can follow along, and we're going to use, for the sake of this example, the characteristics of spirituality and entrepreneur. So the sentence goes, especially for blank, and blank is your name, so we'll say Jane. So especially for Jane, my ideal man is spiritual and an entrepreneur who is a go-getter and an active church goer, allowing us to live both a spiritually and financially blessed life. So did you get it? Follow along on the worksheet, fill in the blanks, and it should work for you. And if you have to change around the verbiage to make it grammatically correct, and do so. But that's your man statement. Okay, so next we're going to be finding your UFQ, which is your unique female qualities. So again, we still have to write. So I want you to think about the 5 qualities that make you unique. Now, a lot of times our unique qualities are the things that come the most easiest to us, and we don't think that they're so special, but they would be things that people often call on you to do, that you just naturally do, that you don't even consider a big deal. So maybe you're good at balancing a checkbook. Maybe you're a great cook. Maybe you're a great organizer. Maybe you're good with people. But whatever it is that makes you unique, try to find 5. Okay, now in the column right next to your unique qualities, you want to write down the benefit of these unique qualities. So for instance, if you're great at balancing a checkbook or handling money, well, then the benefit is that you're good at saving, you're good at spending, you're financially sound. That's the benefit of that. If you're a great people's person, then you're great for networking and finding opportunities. So you want to write down the benefit of each one of your unique qualities. Now we have to connect these unique qualities to the hierarchy of human needs. And we went over this back in the first video, and we'll go over it again. Maslow created a hierarchy of human needs, and it's a pyramid. And at the bottom we have the physiological needs, which is like food, clothes, shelter, sex, and safety needs. So you don't want your unique qualities to directly pertain to these things, because these are the general things. That's why they're at the bottom of the pyramid, and most people at some point can satisfy those needs. They don't make you unique. So you need to have them, but they're not unique. So we're looking for your unique qualities. So as we get to the third level of the pyramid, we have our belonging needs. If your unique quality affects someone's belongingness, that would affect their work group, family, affection, or relationships. So perhaps if you're a great networker, you can affect their belonging needs, because you can help them, their relationships with business, family, or what have you. Higher than that is the esteem needs, which deals with self-esteem, achievement, mastery, independence, status, dominance, prestige. So for instance, if you are able to clean your man up, his presentation, his dress, his form of speech, or perhaps you're a great writer and you can help him write so that when he's presenting something in a written form, he looks in a prestigious way. The third, and at the top of the pyramid, is self-actualization, and that's realizing the person's potential, self-fulfillment, personal growth, and peak experiences. So, and that's the actual connection to what it is that he wants to do. So again, what we're doing is matching your unique qualities and figuring out what human need from your mate does this satisfy. And you want it to be one of the top threes: belonging, esteem, or self-actualization. And when you can relate your unique qualities to these human needs, this will emotionally bond your man to you, because he will understand why you are necessary in his life for you to fulfill his desire. And that's going back to Man Model 101, because the point is to understand what is it that your man desires as far as achievement in his life. And then you take your unique qualities and relate them to what he desires. So go through your list again, your 5, and now you want to relate them to one of these top 3. And if they don't relate to a top 3, then you need to figure out what qualities. So if you don't have 5, you have 2 or 3. We'll go with those 2 or 3, but relate them to a higher sense, because if you don't appeal to a man's higher sense, he will not bond with you emotionally. If you appeal to him, his higher sense of human needs, then he will bond with you, and that man will be yours. Okay, and last but not least, we're going to go over relationship touch points. And these are the 5 most powerful physical activities that will bond you with your mate, and neither one of them includes sex. So I know you're wondering what these are. What the relationship touch points represent is your and your mate's love language. The things that you like to happen physically that signify how much you are appreciated and how much you are loved. And these 5 different points are the following: encouraging words, acts of service, gift giving, quality time, and touch. Now again, we have the worksheet, which is a fun exercise for you and your mate to take. And if you don't have a significant other yet, then when you meet someone, this is a fun test to kind of find out, a little bit about them. And it's just some questions, and you rate yourself 1 to 5 based on, what you respond to in these areas, such as encouraging words, acts of service, gift giving, quality time, and touch. Everyone has different preferences, and often when we don't understand our partner's love language, it's like we're speaking 2 different languages. So some people like encouraging words. So if you like encouraging words, however, if your partner prefers quality time, you are giving him encouraging words when he doesn't want encouraging words. He wants quality time, or vice versa. He's giving you quality time where you prefer more encouraging words. So it's important for partners to understand this. And when you understand each other's love language, it will cut down on 90% of the fighting, and it will lead to more loving. So definitely download the worksheet, go through your 5 relationship touch points. So this concludes Woman Model 101. In our next video series, we'll be answering your most frequently asked questions about romance and finance, and we'll be doing an interesting comparison called Love and Hip Hop versus Romance and Finance, where we'll be comparing the relationships of the reality show Love and Hip Hop characters Chrissy, Emily, and Kimbella, and figuring out how their relationships and what they do applies to forming a power couple using our romance and finance formula. And then by looking at their life example, you can see where you may fit in. So it's going to be fun. This has been Tariq Scott in the Romance and Finance free video series. And remember, love is unconditional, but relationships aren't. So let's get our relationships right. Take care.